maybe not rooting for them, but let's get into the match. It's BDS against Endpoint. Winner of this is going to go 2-0 on the day and have a perfect record and a great chance of making it in to the top 8 for Europe. Endpoint, if they can grab this, oh my goodness, that'll be huge for them, especially given how dominant BDS have been recently in RLCS X regionals.
No, Endpoint barely squeezing through last week, 3-2, as Extra looks to start us off on the goal scoring. He's going to leave it for Monkey Moon, and it wasn't exactly the most powerful shot required ever, but it was good enough to turn in.
Yeah, really good play there by Extra. Just forcing a bad save out of Metsonaris as he comes in field off the wall with a cheeky little catch on the ball. That is just one of the many things that Endpoint are going to need to look out for. BDS are so dangerous with their ground plays and their aerial plays. I think that's one of the things that separates them from a team like Top Blokes, who are so deadly in the air but don't really have that same threat when the game goes grounded.
And there is obviously an awful lot of talk about the Virtuoso demo style, but BDS very capable of being very physical themselves, especially when they do launch the ball to the air. If you do leave someone on the ground, they will go hunting for them. Happy to take that swipe as they move through for the boost. There's Monkey Moon, leaves it for Extra. Just trying to beat players to the ball, not always going direct. Marked by 8 shots down the corner. It's really not much of anywhere to go right now for Endpoint. Might have another one going past them at this rate. It's Relating Wave, huge block from him before the pass could come through.
Already BDS looking sharp. They're just very confident that they are the faster of the two teams. No respect for Endpoint's speed, no respect for Endpoint's aerial plays. If they can keep up that kind of early challenge style, Endpoint will probably need to just go for the counter-attacking plays, maybe pick out Virtuoso. That was a chance, actually. Surprised to see the backboard undefended for BDS, but Endpoint's accuracy lets them down.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a boost issue for BDS. They couldn't quite pick too much up. So it was definitely their chance on Endpoint to try and put something in and retie this game. Oh, huge miss from Metza. Extra turns for it. A good position for Endpoint to work with. They just got to make sure they don't give this over to BDS for free. They've got to try and make sure they keep on the challenges, because this is what happens if you don't. Immediate turnaround. It's not a good ball from Mark. Good pop from Metza. Wants to go all the way to the backboard. Monkey Moon will leave it for Extra. Neither team really happy to fully take control of the ball just yet. It's very much just been going for aerial plays, going for long launches. If we do see that play start developing, you think that definitely suits BDS, especially with a 1-goal lead.
Oh yeah, BDS are going to be very happy to play the long ball against Endpoint. They're the harder hitting team, they're the faster team, so if they can get this ball moving around the field quickly, they will just have even more advantages than they already do. Endpoint, I think they just have to try and draw BDS in, let Virtuoso do his work. Look at the passing by Monkey, hits the crossbar. This is, again, dangerous for Endpoint. Both teams have hit the bar now, and Endpoint will be glad to see that one come off the woodwork. They, are going to struggle to come back from 1 down, far less 2.
Does start cutting across the middle. Metza pops it. And it's very stylistically an interesting matchup as well. There's been a few times we've already seen Virtuoso looking to go on the hunt, but whenever that happens, BDS is a team that like to trade players. They like to hit long, see whether or not they can get a good touch. Speaking of good touches, Extra might have got 2 players out for that one. But for them, this is very much a game of trading. As long as they can get 1 player out for at least one of the opposing sides, then they'll be very happy, because Virtuoso will already be out of position. They will have that 3-2 advantage before anything gets started. Mark's just going to slot it in, and Endpoint could not deal with the corner.
Yeah, it's just all too easy for BDS again. That's so careless of Metsonaris. He's so casual as he tries to take the boost and the ball in the corner. He needs to stay goal-sided, that one. The days are gone where you can take a heavy touch, a little grab of the boost, and then get back underneath the ball before the challenge will come in. BDS are obviously going to throw someone into that position. Oh, that's a good 50-50 though, and what a response by Endpoint. Virtuoso lurking upfield. We've been waiting for that. It's not all about the demos for this guy. He likes to cherry pick. He likes to sneak into those positions to take shots. And that was just off a very strong challenge from Relating Wave.
Relating Wave doing a smart idea, realizing that it was going to be full pace coming at him. So he did have the opportunity to take his time and really pick the spot, which he did fantastically. Metza is on the far side. He might be the option to come in here. Came in a bit too late. coming in from the right-hand side, which certainly did not help his case as Monkey Moon narrowly avoids Metzer, takes to the air, wants to go the entire way, and Virtuoso will keep it out.
I think it's the expertise of the 2v2 game mode that really enables BDS to be so good against that demo style that Endpoint catch other teams off guard with. You know, if demos are becoming more of a part of threes these days, oh man, this is just so brutal to watch. There's just no way that Endpoint can keep up with BDS pressure. And you got Virtuoso just underneath the ball here, and Relating Wave likewise. Nobody really anywhere near getting a clear.
I think it's an underrated part of BDS's play is that not every touch that they take is at the net. They are very happy just to keep hitting it off the backboard, maybe feint that they're going to take a shot and then put it off target, but in a position that their teammate can then come in and play with. That you have to respect both, as Metzer is going to keep this game on. And with one goal to get in 34 seconds, Endpoint, we're looking at this. Virtuoso, my goodness, dude, that was outstanding.
Yeah, very good pass by Virtuoso. Marked by 8 had full boost on the back wall, but he just couldn't figure out which way he needed to be facing. But you'll wish he stayed in the net in that play. You know, underestimating what Virtuoso is capable of. You know, Virtuoso's not really asserted his authority. He's not played that physical style like he usually does. But he is still the troublemaker, whether it be getting into position for a shot or a pass.
The backboard. Still good pressure from Endpoint. Virtuoso turns a bit earlier than he wanted to. A couple of bump attempts from Relating Wave. Couldn't come through. The long clear will secure the game. It was a good attempt from Endpoint. They tried to go for what works best, but just narrowly avoiding the demo will mean that they have lost game number 1.
I love that backflip for Monkey Moon when he realized, or was marked when he realized that Extra just had a clean shot, staying well away. It was marked by 8, staying well away from the play, just in case he saved that. But I've got to give credit to Virtuoso again. That was a good try with that little time left on the clock. I like the mind game. You know, trying to surprise BDS with a change of pace. Didn't work, but it was a good effort, and that's the kind of trickery that Virtuoso will need to keep bringing to this matchup if they're going to have any chance against the BDS team, who looks set to sweep this, honestly. From what I've seen so far, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being a 3-0.
Yeah, for me here, Johnny, I feel like Endpoint have come into this on plan B. A few times now I've seen them play this against Guild as well, where first time I saw them play, it was Virtuoso very much being the Virtuoso that we hype him up to be. But this time around, he's relaxed it just a little bit more. He's trying to take more of a regular rotation approach. And I feel like that's the right idea. I don't think he's going to catch BDS. They need to try and work something else. And plan B might very well be exactly that. But still a long way to go. They were still pretty outclassed despite it being very close towards the end.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, Virtuoso, no doubt, was trying to play that style that he always does and that he does with great success. But it might not just have been his game. Sometimes you just don't have boost at the right times. Your opponents are evading you constantly. And sometimes BDS are just too good. They just don't get caught out of position. And like I said in the last game, my train of thought was cut off by a goal pretty much, as it usually is when these teams are playing. But yeah, BDS are just very good at avoiding those demos. That's a free shot, surely, but marked by 8's there first. And, you know, third man could have committed there for Endpoint. That was definitely a position that looked fruitful for them. But they are trying to play with utmost care against the BDS team who turn any opening into a goal so easily.
That's that danger of that long clear and that hard-hitting power that we see from BDS. And Endpoint have been respecting it. Maybe they respected it enough that time. Shot on target away from being 1 goal up. But I feel like there's almost a little bit too much respect coming out from Endpoint regarding those power clears. They've got to commit when they get the opportunities. Because trust me, those little windows of chance to take a shot aren't going to be there too often, so they need to take them while they can.
Yeah, they had one chance to attack a center ball this game. Didn't take it. And maybe after that they thought, okay, well, we should maybe be playing a bit more aggressively here. Let's press up. And then they nearly conceded a hard clear. Oh wow, what a shot by Mark! But it's well saved actually by Messinaris, getting a save and clearing the ball safely at the same time. But yeah, so far, it's just not been Endpoint's game. It's not been Endpoint's series. They're not playing their style. They're not able to play their style. BDS just won't let them. They refuse to be caught out of position. They refuse to be caught out of boost at any stage. It's a very suffocating style to play against, and Endpoint are finding that out.
Extra wants to come in. He's put it to the far side in Relating Wave. Keeps it out. Here is BDS with their first full offense in quite some time. Pretty much have been trading it so far. Can't get the ball down. Monkey Moon already waiting for it. Relating Wave dives in. Can't get the ball off him. Now Retanaris. He was caught snapping last time. This time around, forced to stay still. Here comes Extra, and it's a tame shot. Virtuoso happy to collect the ball and the boost. Waits for the opportunity into the midfield. Quick race for it, and Marked by 8 wins the challenge yet again. It's very difficult for Endpoint to get multiple challenge wins in a row that they need to get out of this situation. Monkey drops it down, and it's too high. Here comes Extra, and Metza will shut down the second shot.
It's a nasty mind game by Monkey Moon. Luckily for Endpoint, he couldn't catch up to the ball to pinch it in off the floor. Just another danger sign. And, you know, it's quite clear that BDS are the team who are surprising Endpoint more than Endpoint is surprising them. There's a demo for Metza. I've just realized that Virtuoso landed a single demo this series. Now, I'm not saying that he's playing poorly.
I think he's been down on it.
I don't know if it's he's backed down or if he just hasn't been able to find any openings. I mean, maybe it's a bit of both, but he's been lurking upfield quite a lot. He's been making good passing plays and shots happen, but connecting with the demos, he's not been able to so far. Let's see, this is a good chance for him actually on the rotation out, but again, he just can't connect with any of the BDS players.
Here comes Metza. Chooses to take it by himself. I've had the option to drop it to Relating Wave. Instead, takes it to Virtuoso. I feel like if you are going to play against BDS, the option that you always take has to be the quick one, not the best one. Otherwise, they will get the players back. Relating Wave dives in. That's already one boost steal for BDS. So this becomes a tough situation for Endpoint, actually. They've got to get rid of this quickly. That corner boost is now finally theirs. Monkey Moon with the tap back, and instantly BDS back on the offensive. Still 0-0, just over a minute to play here. Mark bringing a bit of hassle here. Relating Wave would like Extra to try and challenge, but Extra's fake challenge was good enough to get the early flick.
You know, Virtuoso is trying. Every single time that he's recovering from the BDS half back into his zone, he is chasing, as usual, he's chasing the BDS players, but their awareness is just on point. Well, you know, whether or not Virtuoso is in front of them, behind them, to the side, they've got their eyes on him, and he's not being able to catch anybody out of position. The rotation remains strong for BDS, and they're threatening Extra's got a free shot. Virtuoso will get the save. But BDS have come close several times. They're still knocking at the door.
That's the second time now that Extra's had the chance to finish it off. Now it's BDS who are clattering into the Endpoint players, and they still keep it at 0-0. Stout defending from Endpoint. If this does head over to overtime, it will be quite a credit to them. Will drop. Metza can't recover in midair. Well, he does get himself the 100 boost. Be him and Virtuoso that are really tasked with this right now. Virtuoso realizing his team needs a little bit of time to sort themselves out. So let's take it the long way around as Extra wants to give his team one more chance, and it's not going to come off that touch. So we've got overtime, and Endpoint need this one desperately, otherwise they're going to be down by 3 match points.
Yeah, Endpoint have been out-pressured immensely in this game. We've seen 0 demos from Virtuoso. We've seen 2 shots at the goal from them. And meanwhile, BDS have just had endless shots, I think up to 11 on the scoreboard, but there's been plenty more that have been kind of near the target and probably not counted by the in-game client here. Somehow, though, Endpoint's goalkeeping has been enough as BDS fail to put any goals in regulation, but they are easily the team who are on top of things at the moment.
BDS just keep backing down from challenges that Endpoint think they're going to go for. Makes playing around it and figuring out where you want to put the ball ever so difficult, as that is going to pop to the midfield. Metza wants to get there. Relating Wave will. The follow-up shot from Monkey Moon off the crossbar. This match has been there for BDS to take, and they still haven't done so. 1 minute overtime currently, and BDS still on pressure. That's a huge clear from Metza, desperately needed for Endpoint. They just want a little bit of breathing room. Relating Wave will finally give it to them. Up to the air, wants to take it a second time. Good challenge from Extra, drops down for Metza. And he will take it to the side. Didn't want to go for the venomous strike from that distance. Somehow, some way, we are still going. Monkey Moon unable to fake.
Yeah, that should have been the game right there. It was wide open. Well, maybe not the entire goal, but a good part of the goal was wide open for Monkey Moon. And, you know, we've been crediting the Endpoint defense, the Endpoint goalkeeping for keeping them in this, despite being so out-pressured and stuck in their half. But that was entirely bad accuracy. Here's a second chance for Monkey Moon. He's not going to miss this time. And BDS, they right the wrong. They make sure to hit the target. And yeah, if Monkey had missed this one, I don't know what I would have thought. Because yeah, that was just completely wide open. No goalkeeper in the middle of the goal on that one. But wow, yeah, just constant pressure for BDS. Endpoint, unable to play their game, totally stuck in their end. And I don't think I saw a single demo for Virtuoso. I'm going to keep bringing this up because this is crazy. We see on average, I think, a demo per game for any Rocket League player in the world these days, but Virtuoso more like 2 or 3, sometimes more. But yeah, BDS awareness on you know, the whereabouts of Virtuoso, just constantly on point, and he's just failed time and time again to connect with these guys.
So a 1-0 win in overtime in a game that really felt like it should have been 3 or 4 for BDS. But Endpoint, they've shown up at least defensively, but my goodness, that midfield is just not theirs right now. And, you know, we get to see what stage 2 looks like for BDS once they've got a team completely stuck on their back line with no boost. They just take it around the long way, they slow down the play, and then they just send another player hunting for whoever's on the goal line, which is exactly how they got that end goal. So here we go, game number 3, and Endpoint, they need they need a huge reset, and they need to hope BDS step off the pace a little bit, because right now, this is the same BDS that won themselves a regional championship and are looking to do the 2-peat.
I mean, this is why, you know, I was saying that I would be surprised if BDS don't sweep this. They're just that good in RLCS X regionals. They've only dropped 1 series. That was to a Magnifico, who are destined to go 3-2 in every Swiss stage. So, I mean, when you're fighting against Destiny, you're always going to lose. But when they're playing against this regular Rocket League teams and not pure fate itself, BDS have not lost a series in this entire tournament. They've just gone completely undefeated in stage 1, in the first regional rather, and this one, outside of that 1 match. And so far undefeated in this regional, 3-0 in stage 1 now, 1-0 today, looking to go 2-0. Just brilliant play. The fact that they can, you know, a team that would be mostly considered a rookie team, the fact that they can show up at the top level when other teams like Oxygen are struggling to bring their A game, veterans of the scene, it really shows the focus that these guys have and the just killer instinct that they've got to show up under the immense pressure that these regionals have and dominate a team like Endpoint, who are so difficult for everybody to play against.
It's just the way they play, isn't it? It's a fantastic counter to so many of them. Metsonaris, that is a statement flick. He really caught the defense flat-footed and wow,
dear.
Yeah, not a chance.
Yeah, I don't know what Mark by 8 was really trying to do there. Maybe trying to grab the boost and make a play where he stays behind the ball, I guess, but he literally just belly flopped the ball at the end of that pre-flip, and Metso says, thank you very much, I'll take that. That's an easy goal for Endpoint. Maybe another one actually, but the shot's too slow. Virtuoso not air rolling into the ball there, just kind of air rolling away from it as he came in for the aerial rebound. That's a let-off. Once again, Endpoint have to say goodbye to one of their best chances of the series.
Virtuoso, well, Virtuoso will be landing in about 2 minutes. So for the time being, Relating Wave and Metsonaris on the ball. Oh, he has managed to get down nice and quick, actually. It only took 12. Mark's going to look to drop. There's a huge demo. Mark would have wanted the pinch instead. Called off by Monkey Moon. Going to look for the double, and he's flown over the top of it. Monkey Moon, usually so solid at those. Angle a little bit too rough this time around.
Yeah, credit to Relating Wave, though. It's very easy to have all eyes on Monkey Moon as he's coming in for that rebound. It's a difficult one. And Relating Wave realized, okay, if Monkey Moon does miss this, which is possible even for a player like Monkey Moon, I better be ready to close down the follow-up shot. Extra had a free hit if had it not been for Relating Wave. You know, really being on point and keeping an eye on everything that's happening, not just the one player flying through the air for the rebound.
Virtuoso stuck in that corner. This is where BDS want them. Mid boost is also available, so BDS can sustain this for quite some time if they want to. So you see Endpoint almost desperate to get the boost more than they are after the ball. That's a huge clear. Virtuoso can't catch Mark.
Wow.
I don't think...
effortless.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever really claim that BDS are ball watching the entire time, can you? They have got just view everywhere. They know exactly what's happening in their peripheral.
I mean, it just shows you why Virtuoso is struggling to play his normal style of game. It's BDS. They are really good at making that kind of play fail. And I don't think Virtuoso, has he landed a demo this series? I think maybe he won in the first game. I'm not sure I remember it, though.
I remember him getting demoed.
Yeah, he did. It's been demoed, but I think
it might be -1.
Series. That's pretty crazy. It's so rare these days to see a series or even a game go by where Endpoint aren't able to apply that pressure, at least sometimes. But that being said, they do have the 1-goal lead. Is it going to be limited time though? The shot's it's barely off, but Monkeyman rebounds it in. 1-1, and it's not Endpoint catching players out of the demos. It's Relating Wave. He let his guard down, and that's the second time this game that he's been caught just completely sleeping, ball watching, while someone comes in to smash him from behind.
And there is the danger. If you try and engage BDS in the long player battle and you miss here even one, they are turning that player around and they're going to see what they can get a hold of. And this time around, they got a hold of Relating Wave, so one each. Endpoint now needs to go looking for another one. They were only a minute away from turning this to a 2-1 deficit in terms of scoreline. Metza wants a second touch. Monkeyman just taps it below. There's the 2-1 that they really want on the exchange for BDS. It's another good clear. Monkeyman takes it down, takes it on the path for the extra 100 boost. Might have the infield option, actually. In comes Extra, and almost caught them out. Monkeyman so tricky on the transition.
Yeah, BDS are playing carefully here. That would have been a tempting shot for Extra to just throw himself at, but he decided, that best case scenario is going to be a 50-50 with a goalkeeper. And against a team that they are favorites against, you don't really need to take those risks. Endpoint are being outshot. They're being out-pressured overall by such an immense margin. The BDS are quite happy to wait for a better chance on net. Been corrected by the brilliant Twitch chat analysts. They need a raise. They've apparently spotted a Virtuoso demo in this game. And maybe my mind is just not registering them until I see 4 or 5. Then I'm like, okay, yeah, Virtuoso's standard, standard play again. Yeah, thank you for that, Twitch chat, for keeping us right.
Can Endpoint put themselves in the right spot, though?
Oh,
might very well come off this. The backboard was there and marked by 8. So heads up to spot it. And he's now got them on the other side of the pitch entirely. Almost took out Metza. So marked by 8 takes what was a awful situation for his team. And he's completely turned it around. Will he get the goal? Of course he will. Marked by 8, hero of the overtime. And he's got them up to 2-0 in the Swiss system.
What a dunk by Monkeyman. Nice little 1v2 at the near post. Pre-flips into somewhat of an air dribble. And then dunks it into the middle. 3-0 for BDS. I'm not surprised, but I am impressed. I'm not surprised, but I'm very impressed with how they're playing here. The awareness, the composure, the consistency of this team, truly impressive to see. And Endpoint, they can't be too upset about this. They've been swept. They didn't really get to play their game, but they're still in a reasonable position after 2 series, 1-1 on the day. And
I think they'll come out of this and say, well, our defense was at least pretty good. So they know half the field is working very well for them. But wow, BDS, we mentioned this during the first regional that I thought, and we both thought that they had the perfect play style for this. And it doesn't, the further we get out, the less it sounds like a good bit of analysis and a good prediction, because it just starts to seem more and more obvious that, of course, they are perfect for this style. They are so good at not only gaining momentum, but maintaining momentum. But when we come back after break, we have got ourselves Team Liquid against Reno Vitality. Both teams are not 1-0. They're both 0-1. One of these teams is about to go under huge pressure at 0-2. Come back soon to find out which one.